What's up, boys? It's your Ninja Bladey. Before I start this video, just want to make a quick announcement that yes, my Lions did lose in the Osiris Finals qualifiers for the playoffs. GG, boys. We'll get them next time. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about Joan of Arc, her skills, and I'm going to be giving you my opinion on her skills and what I think her ranking is and if I would use her or not. So let's just get straight off to the first skill. So the first skill deals skill damage up to 3 targets of 2000 damage factor, and then her troop and 2 other troop gains a 5% damage bonus and 20 rage restored for the next 3 seconds. Okay, so you guys know me. If you want your commander to be meta or top commander, it needs to have the wow factor. The wow factor is AoE damage, AoE debuff, or AoE buff. Keyword, guys, AoE. So Joan just happens to have AoE damage and AoE buffs. So in my opinion, that automatically puts her in the top 15 contending list to be top commander in KVK. So I'm gonna read you guys the second, third, fourth, and expertise, and then I'm gonna give you guys my opinion after that. So the second skill is 20% attack bonus, 10% march speed, another 10% march speed if outside Alliance territory, and 5% normal attack damage bonus. Before I move on, I just want to say that march speed is so underrated. I think that every troop needs to have march speed, because that's the difference between your troop getting zeroed and actually surviving a swarm, or it's the difference between you getting kills and no kills. So if you were fast enough and you had march speed, you'd arrive on battle quicker to get those kill points. Or if you have to reset your troops, you do it faster to get more kill points. So if you are playing SOC KVK, all your troops need to have some sort of march speed. Okay, guys? Alright, so getting to the third skill. Third skill is cavalry damage bonus 5% and normal attack damage bonus 30% for 1 second that triggers once every 5 seconds. Let's just keep it moving, guys. So the fourth skill, cavalry health bonus 10% and then 100% chance to cast Sacred Banner after the second commander uses their active skill. And then this triggers once every 10 seconds. Okay, so basically it's like this, right? Sacred Banner is the first skill. So if Joan of Arc was the primary commander, she'd cast Sacred Banner, and then your second commander would cast their skills, and then after that, the fourth skill triggers this effect. So she would trigger Sacred Banner again. She would activate Sacred Banner again. So if she was a primary commander, she'd do this damage, she'll apply her buffs, and then the second commander kicks in, and then after that, the fourth skill triggers Sacred Banner again. So what does that mean? That means she does 2000 damage AoE again, and then she reapplies her buff. So it would be like her applying the damage bonus and the rage restore for 6 seconds instead of 3 seconds because of the fourth skill. But obviously you can only cast that once per 10 seconds. So in my opinion, the first and the fourth skill is already good enough to definitely make her top 15. So let's talk about the expertise. And then the expertise is troop of this commander deals 5% more counteract damage. And then if she has 30% or more troops remaining, she gets 5% more damage. Okay, that's super garbage. So let's go back to second skill, and then we'll talk about all her passive buffs, okay? So I feel like when it comes to attack bonus, especially if you're like an SOC commander, 20% is definitely too low. 30% is definitely the sweet spot, and then 40% is definitely, making it a little too good. But 30%, I feel like should be a minimum percentage for the commander, basically. And then normal attack damage bonus 5%, that's definitely too low as well. If it's 5%, they should make it somewhere like something like she gets 5%, but it stacks like 5 more times. You know what I'm saying? For a total of 25%. And then her third skill, oh my goodness, guys. Cavalry damage bonus 5%. Normal attack damage 30% for 1 second. That triggers once every 5 seconds. Okay, the first skill, the first trait, cavalry damage bonus, 5%. That's horrible. It should be 10% minimum at least. You know, anything over that is definitely overpowered, but 10% is definitely a minimum requirement. And then normal attack damage bonus 30%, that's fine, but it only activates for 1 second. I feel like it needs to be at least 2 times, 2 seconds every 5 seconds for it to be even decent, you know? So basically what I'm trying to tell you guys is the third skill is useless, okay? And then the fourth skill, cavalry health bonus 10%. I feel like that was, you know, they kind of lowballed Joan of Arc right there too, like 10%. Some of the older commanders, they have more than 10% cavalry, I mean just health bonus in general, you know. I feel like 20% would definitely be a little too much. Put her in the same category as Nevsky. Maybe she might be a little too OP with 20% health buff. So I feel like 15% is definitely the sweet spot, in my opinion. And then her expertise, oh my goodness, 5% damage, more damage counteract. Come on, give her at least 15 to 20%. 5% is just nothing. It's nothing. And then her 5% more damage overall when she has more than 30% troops remaining. CPO Prime has 10% more damage and she only gets 5%. You know? Just think about that. So what am I trying to tell you guys? In my opinion, her first and her fourth skill is good enough to definitely make her somewhere in between top 10 to 15. If you're a Cav main, I guess she'll be like top 5 or top 10, definitely. But if it was me, and this is probably 90% of what I'm gonna do, is I'm probably gonna unlock her and then I'm gonna get 5, 5, 1, 5. I'm not gonna bother with the third skill and I'm not gonna bother with the expertise because it's so the buffs, the passive buff is so like underwhelming. It's not worth to put in like the extra 300 golden heads just to get this extra 5% cav bonus and then this another cav 5%. Like you're putting over 300 more golden heads for like an extra 10% cavalry damage bonus. Okay guys, so in this picture I have a list from top tier to bottom tier of the best pair of what I think is going to be meta. So let's just start with the top tier. So Xian Yu and Nevsky. Joan needs to be secondary and I'll explain why. So Xian Yu does an AoE debuff damage, right? Minus 30% defense. And then when that happens, Joan will follow up with her AoE damage. Because Xian Yu debuffed them, Joan is going to do more damage. And that's why Joan needs to be secondary. For Nevsky, Joan needs to be secondary also because Nevsky has the fourth skill. When the first skill is activated, the second commander skill gets a big skill damage bonus. So obviously that's why you have it like that. And also Xian Yu definitely primary because the rage requirement is lesser, obviously. So Saladin and Joan. I'm kind of biased about Saladin. I don't really use him anymore. I don't think he's like, you know, he's not meta anymore. He's definitely still relevant for the utility of slowing, but from my perspective, a whale fighting another whale, if you're like a real whale fighter, like you're not gonna run away. So I don't have any reasons for Saladin, but obviously there's still like a wide population that still uses Saladin. So Saladin and Joan is top tier. I just listed that because I know there's gonna be haters out there. Yeah, there's really not much to say. You know, Saladin slows and Joan will follow up with the AoE damage. And then the last one is a speculation. I think Honda and Joan is also going to be a top tier, because right now I'm using Honda and Harold. So the reason why I'm using Harold is because he has his random skill proc, and I need that while Honda is in a time frame of not casting his skill, because obviously his skill rage requirement is 2300. So the reason why I put Joan behind Honda is while he's not casting his skill, the Sacred Banner 4 skill is going to activate, and it's going to, you know, keep the productivity of Honda relevant, I guess. So mid tier, again, this is in no order. Minamoto behind Joan because you don't want to get swarmed. William first because William has the skill talent tree, and then Joan as primary and Honda as secondary, because why not? You know, Honda secondary is pretty strong, so AoE damage and AoE damage, you know, can't go wrong with that. And then the last one is my speculation as well. I think Joan and Mulan is going to be pretty good, you know, for me at least. If I'm not using Saladin, I can max the last skill in support tree, where when she activates her skill, she slows 5 targets for 25% slow, right? And then after that, Mulan will apply her buffs, and then she actually applies 30% march speed for all my troops. So if I can debuff 5 enemies 25%, and I can buff 30% march speed of my troops 30%, you know, can't go wrong with that, right? So the bottom tier, honestly, Joan and Mehmed has a strong case for mid tier as well, but I just put them as bottom just because, well, Mehmed gives more skill damage, but you're using her as a primary, you know, and if you're buffing her skills while she's only a support tree, and then your AoE damage itself is not even amazing, so that's kind of why I ultimately put Mehmed at the bottom tier, even with the museum buff. And the next one, Joan and Chandragupta. I'm just not a fan of Chandragupta on the open field at all. He's got a debuff, but it's only a single target. His damage is only single target, and his damage is damage over time. So I don't like that at all. So that's why I put him and Joan as bottom tier. And then bottom tier is also Joan and Athlafled. You know, you could definitely use this as well, but I wouldn't recommend it. You can still use it, you can make it work, but it won't be the best. And then the last pair is either Joan with YSG or Joan with Theodora. Like I said, you know, you can make it work, but I don't think it's going to be the best, give you the best results. YSG goes great with any pair, so that's why I had to include him. And Theodora is like a ripoff of YSG, so that's why I included her as well. And yeah, guys, so what I think about Joan in general is, I think I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna get her at 5515. I'm not gonna expertise her, and then I'm gonna see how it goes from there, because like I said, putting over 300 more golden heads just to expertise her to get like an additional 10% cavalry damage just isn't worth it. So yeah, guys, that's what I think about Joan. Tell me what you guys think about her too in the comments. Thanks.